Ghosts could appear in the midday haze. Although she let her husband and 2 sons sleep, Dina needed an assistant to carry the shovel and spade. She needed her daughter to chase away the black squirrels and hungry birds. And so, when the sky was milky and gray, she went to wake Teresa. Whether she found her sleeping daughter in bed or in the chair by the window made no difference to Dina. "Hurry up," she would whisper, pulling the sheet out of Teresa's fingers or tapping on the back of the wooden chair. "We have to get out there before it's too hot. The sun won't wait for us," she would warn. No matter how tired she was, Teresa dressed quickly, and while her older brothers, Reuben and Silver, dreamed in the room right next door, Teresa combed her hair into new braids and then followed her mother downstairs. There was always a pot of thick, hot coffee in the kitchen, and Teresa and Dina would stand side by side, drinking from blue and white porcelain cups. This was a treat. No other girl Teresa knew, at school or in the neighborhood, was allowed coffee, not even when it was mixed with hot milk and sugar. If it stunted her growth, Teresa didn't care. The coffee was wonderfully dark. It was hotter than the breath of the men upstairs when they turned in their sleep. Teresa stirred sugar into her cup and watched through the window as hummingbirds drank from the sage at the edge of the vegetable patch. Soon, the men upstairs would leave. But when Dina and Teresa first went out to the garden, Teresa's father was just putting on his work boots. Reuben, the oldest son, would not walk down to the Safeway where he crated vegetables until 8:30, and it would be hours before Silver even woke up. When they weeded and hoed, Dina wore a chiffon scarf covering her long hair. Teresa, a cotton kerchief, which rubbed against her ears. Both wore canvas gloves, which allowed them to tear out dandelion roots and ragweed from the south end of the garden without any scratches or scars. By 7:30, when Teresa's father had slammed the front door shut behind him and walked out to the dirt driveway, Teresa and Dina had already weeded the first row of tomatoes. Harry Connors, known to his friends as King, didn't even glance over toward the garden. He walked down the driveway and got into his pickup truck. All summer long, he had been working construction in Santa Rosa. It was rare for him to have a job so close to home, and spending so much time with his wife set King's nerves on edge. He found himself wishing for jobs which would take him farther and farther away from home, to Arizona, or Oregon, or Southern California, because here at home, nothing he did ever seemed to be right. "Other people have cars. Look what we have," Dina said when she saw King in the pickup. "Other people have cars," she called to her husband. In the driveway, King Connors stepped on the gas. The engine jumped and then died. King Connors got out, waving a wrench. "Let's see you get us something better," he said to Dina as he threw open the hood. "Me?" Dina laughed. "I don't even have a job. What would I pay for the car with? Turnips? Blueberries?" Teresa left her spade on the ground and walked to the driveway. She watched as her father checked the carburetor. Her eyes were as large and as guarded as lanterns. "What the hell are you looking at?" King Connors asked when he noticed her hanging on the fender. "You got some complaints too?" Teresa traced her finger over the chipped paint on the hood. King Connor's sister had the car Teresa had always wanted, a 2-seater, light enough to take the curves in any road at top speed, whiter than pearls. When King Connors closed the hood and climbed back into the truck, Teresa followed him and stood by the open window. "How about a Corvette?" she asked. King Connors was already late for work. He had 2 teenage sons still asleep in their beds, and a wife who spoke more to the plants in her garden than she did to him. "What the hell do you know about Corvettes?" he said to his daughter. "That's what Renee drives," Teresa told him. Renee. King Connors turned the key in the ignition.